complicate things. Let's stick to the basics. We both know what we want, let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We dance on the same wavelength. This feels like a new beginning. We both know what we want, let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So won't you let me trip with you? Leaning on fire.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of AJAWI TV, where we discuss architectural and construction related topics. I'm your host, I'm AJAWI. Welcome guys, it's another day, it's another Sunday, and by now you would have realized that we do lives every other Sunday. Yes, guys. If you notice, I've been doing lives every other Sunday for the past couple of weeks. Sophia, big up yourself, big up yourself. Welcome in the building. You're the first one here. Round of applause, confetti, and stuff like that. So today's discussion, if you guys saw the thumbnail, we will be discussing why is it important for the public to know that you are doing construction, right? You're a business after all. You don't really want everybody in your kettle of fish. So that's what we will be discussing today. So I hope it's an interactive discussion, right? Hope it's an interactive discussion with you guys and we can have fun with it. I know I'm excited for this discussion because on a personal note, me not necessarily like everybody in my business. I know as a YouTuber, you would expect that I would want everybody, all up in my business, but sometimes I'm kind of low key, let us say introverted, or not everything I like to disclose all at once. So yeah, it's kind of a oxymoron per se. But yes, guys, I want to say big up to everybody. Thanks for being a part of the AJAWI family. I appreciate love all of you guys. If you guys are living overseas and you're looking to return to Jamaica and to do construction, right, buy property, this is the channel for you, right? Our business, the AJAWI TV family, caters to returning residents who are looking to return to Jamaica, build their dream home and retire. And as such, that's why we're all here. To get, a little bit of advice or a little bit of guidance. I wouldn't say advice, but guidance. Things to look out for, things not to do, things you should be doing, so that you can, so that you can be informed. Alright? If you're just joining, guys, remember the golden rule. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I make videos just like this one. Alright? So I'm gonna start off with a little story. I don't know if you guys I've told this story before, but I'm going to start off with a little story. Alright? I'm going to start off with a little story this time. Let's see. Who else is in the building? Who else is in the building? Let me give you a big up. So drop a name, drop a hello. Let me know if you're hearing me clearly. Right? So that I can know or I can adjust. Right? Guys, so why the public need to know that you are doing construction, right? In particular, when you actually go to do a building application, you will normally get a intent to build notice that you should post up on your property, right? I brought this in a previous episode and somebody asked, so why the public need to really know, say, you are built, right? And so I told the person that I would do a live for this, right? Here's one of the reasons. So I wrote down 5 reasons, and I also went and did some research to give you guys a little bonus. So I'll be discussing 5 reasons, and also I'm going to be giving you a bonus at the end. You don't want to miss the bonus. It's something that is very important to know. It's useful to know this. So stick around to the end so that you can get you can get the bonus. Alright? Alright, so the first thing is this. I'm gonna give you a story. So the other day I went and did a drawing for a returning resident, right? She was doing a submit on Maypen, right? Maypen. Did the drawings, she loved our house, she loved everything about the design. She and I go through and we design our house together, and she was like, wow, she loved it and everything. Went, do the pre-approval, got everything pre-approved, submit, she get her approval, and she was very happy, right? Very happy. When I was at the parish council, there was this returning resident, right? There was this returning resident there. When I walked in, I saw him talking to the receptionist, right? He's there talking to the receptionist, asking her how can somebody build on his land without his permission, right? Without any notice, without anything at all, right? The man dropped on his knee in the parish council, right? He dropped on his knee, and in there they plead, and I said, John was in buying land, him having land, say him come back home to build on it. And now that he's ready, right, he go overseas, work for a couple of years well, and come back home now, and I say him I go build on him land. And when he come back, guess where him say on him land? Somebody built a tomb and buried them family member upon the man land. Right? Somebody buried one of them family member on that man's land. So now you know that that's a problem, because that is now designated as a cemetery. Right? So his property, he's going to have a hard time with that property, because one, nobody really want to buy no land with tomb on it. Two, and not even your family, and not even your family buried on it, or somebody else's family member buried on it. And not even for their property, or your property. So you don't have no, it's going to be difficult. It's not like you can just dig up the tomb just like that and relocate it. I don't know. It's just messy, right? So the notice of intent that you get from the parish council, actually, it helps to avoid people building on your land without you noticing, right? So if you buy your property and you see somebody put up a notice of intent to build on your property, chances are you would be alarmed and do some investigation, probably take it down, or probably inform the authorities that, hey, somebody's trying to build on my land. Even if you don't have a title, you can possibly, you probably have a case. If you don't have the physical, if you don't have a physical title, you can probably go to the titles agency or the land agency and get a title to indicate that, hey, you're the actual owner, right? So that's one of the reasons why it's very important for that notice of intent to build, so that you can be informed that, hey, if somebody's going to be building on this property. Now, what if you're not here in Jamaica and somebody put up a notice of intent on your property to build? This is why it is important to check on your land, on your property, while you're not in Jamaica, right? So, you have a friend, you have somebody here in Jamaica, you can ask them to routinely check on your property for you, every now and again, so that you know that nothing fishy is going on, alright? Now, the second reason for the notice of intent to build is to inform the public, but it is for another reason, right? It's to inform the public and give them the opportunity to object to your construction. Now, you might be saying, it's your land. Why would somebody else object to you building on your property, right? Why would somebody object? Now, if you are building on your property, right, but you're building something that doesn't conform to the zoning, right? So certain areas you can only build certain buildings. So for example, you can't go into a residential area and say, I'll go come in there, come build up a garage, right? That's a big no-no. So you putting up that notice of intent to build, it should state what kind of building you're going to be building there, or what kind of structure will be there, and you give them the opportunity to object. In some cases, it's an apartment building that is going in that residential area, single family dwelling area. You as the homeowner, maybe they're coming to build on a lot beside you, and you don't necessarily want a multi-family residence next to your property, because they would then be looking over into your property and down into your property. It gives you the opportunity to object to that, right? So that's one of the reasons why the notice of intent is so important, right? To put up on the property to indicate that, hey, we're going to build a single family dwelling here, or we're going to be building a multi-family dwelling on this property, right? So it is important to do so, or to have that notice of intent. All right. Now, if you don't put up that notice of intent, the parish council can refuse your building application simply because of that fact, right? So if you don't have it up on the property, they can say, hey, you didn't put up a notice of intent, so we're not processing the building application. So it's important, right? It gives people in the area the opportunity to say, we don't want that type of development within this area, because it does affect the price or the value of their property. So you can imagine you having a single family dwelling, and then next to your building there is a high-rise building, apartment building looking over into your property. That can affect your building or your property, right? Your property value as well. Now, another reason number 3 is that citizen policing, right? Citizen policing. What do I mean by this? You're doing construction, right? And it's twofold. You're doing construction, and you don't tell your neighbor that, hey, I'm going to be doing construction, and then starts one bag man in the area, them start say construction taking place. They can actually call the parish council and say, hey, there is somebody doing construction next door to me. Do they have an approval? Why are they doing construction over there? We don't know about this. And the council can actually come and stop you, give you a stop order, right? Maybe you didn't get approval, so you're now building an illegal building. They can come and say, hey, stop construction, give you a cease and desist. Additionally, it's a method of policing in the sense that if you're doing construction and you have valuable materials on site, big up to Lenny Beckford in the building, guys. So you have valuable materials on site, right? Your neighbor, you didn't say to your neighbor, hey, you know, so we are doing construction over here and we just wanted to introduce ourselves. You know, if anything unusual, you know, you can always let me know, and if it is that we are disturbing you in any way, let us know so that we can, you know, coexist. When you gone, if man come there in the night and I move out your material, you have people around that see that they can police on your behalf, right? They can inform you or inform the authorities that their activities are taking place, and I don't think the owner is aware of it. You understand? So citizens policing is another thing that the notice of intent encourage. So and it's also on the part that you build, if the person is building illegally. So the citizen themselves again can call the authorities to say, yo, there's construction happening on this site. We don't think they have approval. We need them to cease and desist. Or if something is happening at an hour that it's not supposed to be happening, that neighbor can call the relevant authorities on your behalf. So it's a way to get people involved, get added security, of course, right? Another one is that I think I touched on it before, but it avoids devaluing properties within the area, right? Again, you're building a commercial property in a residential area, in particular a garage. Nobody wants a garage within their area, right? Because oil and the place look dirty and dust and all kind of old junk, old car, all of these things. Nobody really wants a garage in their area. So say somebody comes in the area to construct or to design and build a garage within that area. You, the citizens, can say, no, we don't want this in this area. The area is slated for residential, so we want a residential building within this area. If the citizens within the area object to your construction, you are in trouble, because the authority will listen to the majority, right? If for any reason they say, hey, the people within the area say, we don't want that to be built here, it's not going to be built there, because the government will listen to the majority of the people there, right? There was another thought that came to mind in relation to this, slipped me a while ago. But yeah, it gives them the opportunity to object. On another point is that nuisances, noise, dust, what do you call it, rubbish, those are things that it gives the people within the area the opportunity to police. So if your construction is happening, and construction is supposed to happen from 8 or say 7 o'clock, no, 7 o'clock kind of early, 8 to 5 or 8 to 5:30, right? And you go there and you're making noise at 7 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the evening. You're there with hammer driller, beat out the wall and all of these things. The citizen can say that you're being a noise, you're creating noise pollution, and that can cause your construction to stop, to halt, right? Additionally, if you're not controlling the dust, so you come and the site is very dusty, it's blowing on other people's property, and it's causing health issues, right? Maybe people in the area has asthma. That notice will inform them that, hey, construction is going to take place within the area. Let me prepare. Maybe the person who has asthma is you know, for the time being, then have to close up the place, or maybe then move to somewhere else for the time being, right? That notice of intent would have been important. But if didn't know and you come and start the construction and you have noise or dust pollution, then you can call the authorities and say, hey, there is construction taking place, they have dust pollution, noise pollution, there's rubbish, right? So it's a public health issue. They can then, the authority can come in and say, hey, we're giving you a stop order because of X and Y, you need to address it. Let's get that done before you can do any other construction or continue with your construction. So these are very important things to note. So that's why the notice of intent to build is so important. Now, you might be wondering, how would I know that a property that is being built on is actually, they got an approval? I went and did some research because I remember seeing it some time ago, right? And you can actually go on the parish council's, your respective parish council website and go to resources, and you can click and see approved buildings or building approvals, right, for the year. So unfortunately, they don't keep it as updated as they should, or as updated as they should. There was one time when they sent it regularly, because I used to get that list every month or so, but I don't get it anymore. So it's, you know how Jamaica stay. So you may get the list every now and again. Every parish council doesn't do it, because when I checked, not every parish council does it. And also, when you check on the parish council's website, some of them have it up to date and some of them have it as far back as 2017. The last update was in 2017. So I'm going to show you that now, right? I'm going to show you that now. So I'm going to show you that on screen. I hope you can see this. Tell me if you can see it good enough for me to change view, right? Or maybe I need to zoom in a little. So you should be seeing approved plans. So somebody comment and tell me if you can see clearly, right? Let's go to the popular parish council, KSAC. So this is the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, right? And what I did, I just went to their website and clicked resources. So up here, you're seeing resources, right? Let me know if you can see clearly, but you have resources here. So I just click resources on their website, and you're seeing the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation. You hear building application, approval, and refusal, right? So you can click that, and a list of approved buildings or approvals will show. So this is up to 2021, right? So this is from 2014 up to 2021, and within that they have different periods, right? So December, they show you the list of approvals, and you can download it and you can see the different approvals that were granted. I'd have to open my iPad on my phone. Okay. Okay, I understand. I hope that you guys are seeing it clearly though. But I'm just giving you so that you can know, right? So, yeah, so you can see where there is a list of approved buildings, the location, the reference number, whether it's residential or commercial, the address, the lot number, area of the building, shows the area of the building, and the approved date, right? So this is a list that you can look at as a resident. So if you see a property beside you going up, right? You can actually check to see if that building has been approved. But this is for Kingston and St. Andrew. I'm going to show you the other locations that I saw, right? Yeah, so this is residential, commercial. This is a renovation. So they even show you the type of building that is happening. And this is downtown Orange Street, right? It's a commercial. The area is 1,242 square feet, right? Or is it square meter? Let me just check. No, square meter. So 1,240 something square meter of building that they renovated, right? And the date, they don't give a date here, but yeah. So this is one parish council. Again, the thing is, as I say with Jamaica, unfortunately, they don't necessarily keep up to date with it. So I am not seeing where there is a regular update of this. So this is how much page? 12 pages, right? And not all of them are filled. But this is from 2021. So this is 2021. Alright. Let's see. This is Clarendon. Well, we're not even want to go Clarendon yet. I think I have Spanish Town. Okay, Spanish Town. I search for Spanish Town one. They have it as well, right? So this one shows the applicant's name, street, community, and the size of the building, right? The size of the building, and it shows you based on, well, this is like months, I guess. So this is 2020. Up here is 2020. Also, this is 2021. Is it 2021? No, that's 2020 as well. So again, as I said before, they don't really keep up to date most of the times with these things. So you just have to check routinely to see, right? 2020 again. So this is an entire list, so you can check it out yourself. All right. This is what, 16 pages. Oh, so they have 2021 there, right? And they show you where the applicant's name, the street, the community, the area of the building, whether it's commercial or residential. All right. Yeah. So you can check that out. All right. Let's see. Clarendon, and don't. Okay, so Clarendon has it as well, right? Clarendon has it as well. So these are the. This looks like Mandeville. No, yeah. So this is Clarendon. Again, Clarendon only have 2 sheets. St. Anne, no. St. Anne one is not up to date at all. I checked, they don't even have it on their website, right? They are seeing resources, but they don't have it there, right? So this is for Clarendon. This is for Clarendon. I tried. Let's see. This is where St. Catherine. I think I have some other ones. Alright, so when I tried the other locations, so I can close off this now, right? Let's get rid of that. Yeah, when I tried the other locations, so I tried St. Mary, I tried, well, St. Mary, I tried St. Anne, I didn't try St. James, because the further out of Kingston I got, is the less resources I saw. So when you go on the website, you can always go to the resources section and you will see the list of approved buildings. But when I went to the other locations, I don't see it. So Mandeville, I don't see anything from Mandeville. When I type in approvals and I see a list come up, When I click on that list, it's just showing me for Kingston. Right, it's showing me a list for Kingston. So you can see where that can be an issue for some people. For me personally, I don't like that all the agencies don't have this. So the fact that Kingston, Spanish Town, and Spanish Town has it, Clarendon has it, but it's from 2017, right? Mandeville 2017, if I'm remembering correctly. But it's so long ago that it's not even relevant anymore, right? Because if you're looking at it to gather information, 2017 approval not really make much difference. But anyways, point is you can use these resources, right? Even for your building application, there's a system that you can look at to track where in the process your building application is. Does all the councils have it? No. Alright, so that's the problem that is there. Inconsistencies across the board most of the time. Right? So one parish council may ask you for this, other may not, other may have resources while another one may not have the necessary resources. Alright? Guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope I was able to share some information with you that you would find valuable, right? Let's see. Yes. Do you need parish council approval to put a container home on your own land? So you need approval. Here's why. You need approval when you're doing modification to a property on the land, beside the land, under the land, above the land, right? So on the land, under the land, beside the land, right? You need approval. So yes, you do need approval for a container home if you're going to put one on the property, because the parish council still needs to know what is happening at that location, because you're gonna need sewage disposal, you're gonna need water connection. So yeah. You need approval for a fence. What kind of fence? How tall is the fence? So if your fence is below 5 feet, if I'm remembering correctly, you don't necessarily need an approval for that. If it's like a temporary fence, but if you're going to dig up, you need to get an approval. So if you're digging a foundation to put in a fence, you need an approval for that, because you're altering the property. You're putting in a permanent fence. But once you go over 5 foot, 6 foot, you need to get an approval. The wire fence, not necessarily, right? Not necessarily. Container, even though the container is movable, yes. Yeah, you still need to have that approval, even though it's movable, because you're gonna have to put it onto something. So you're gonna have to connect to, but here's the thing: it's kind of tricky, because if you build it, if you're doing the construction off the property and then carrying it to come and drop it on the property, but it's temporary, right? So you're not going there to put it down for a long period of time. You wouldn't necessarily need an approval for that. I can be wrong, but from what I know, you do need an approval, right? So you need to show what the foundation, how you're going to support it, right? So you're gonna be doing foundation work, right? So you need approval for that. But for the most part, you need an approval. You're most welcome. You're most welcome, guys. This is the session. This is the session where these are the type of sessions where you ask the questions, right? A lot of people, they try to call me and reach out to me to do. It's like they call my phone to ask me, "Hey, how do you do this, this, and this?" I'm gonna charge you for that, right? You have to understand that I am running a business. So when you ask me, when you call me to ask me those questions, I have to charge you. But on a live, I can't answer these questions. So that's when you need to ask these questions, right? Yeah, you will need concrete pads for the container to sit on, right? So you're gonna do a foundation detail and put that here. But for like say I do just a one small shipping container, say a 20-foot shipping container. Personally, I'm not telling that you shouldn't do it, but if you do a one shipping container where you're going to do like with some storage in, you know, say you're going to probably lift it up after a while. That is not something that I would get approval for. But in essence, if you're going to create a permanent structure for you to live in, you need to have an approval for that, because at the end of the day, somebody is occupying that space. They will need water, running water. They will need waste management, right? So sewage, these things, electrical connections. You need to have the necessary wiring and grounding. You need to have all of these things in place. So I would get an approval for that, right? I would get an approval for that. 20-foot shipping container, but that's the thing. Are you looking to put just one shipping container, or are you designing a house where you say, are you doing more than one shipping container, putting them together and creating a house? That is really the question, right? Yeah, you need to gray water, black water, so that's sewage, right? So you need to just one. What's the purpose of it? I mean, if you're doing one shipping container, why? You don't want to say it. You don't want to say enough to get approval for that, but why? When you look at it, the only thing that you're changing is just putting down a couple pads. If you were saying, if you were not going to dig a foundation and put it down, then it's a temporary structure. So yeah, because remember, you know, when you put out the 20-foot shipping container as a temporary structure, see, until construction is done, you don't need to get an approval for that, because it's not a permanent structure. I'm talking about buildings that is made out of the shipping container, where it's going to be there for years, and it requires connection to the sewage and all of these things. You don't need to go and apply for one shipping container that you're probably going to keep materials in, or you're just doing it so that you have a temporary place to keep stuff. you don't need to get an approval for that because it's not a permanent structure, right? You put it down there for house your material. I mean, once you're doing, let me see, if you're doing construction under, like, say you're doing just a one foundation footing or 4 pads, but it's like a column you're doing, like you'll hold up something. Not necessarily. It's kind of technical. Most of the times, what I do is I ask the council. You can always ask the council. You can call them and ask them, do I need to do an approval for this? Because for modifications, certain types of modifications, you don't necessarily need to get an approval for that because you're not changing the structure of the building, right? So in this case, you're doing a shipping container, right? It's not permanent, right? You're just doing 4 pads on the property. You don't need to do application for that. The foundation may not even be that much. You probably say dig a hole and create a concrete stuff, and you're good to go because it's not necessarily a permanent structure, right? So that's why I say most of the times just ask. Call them and ask, and you should be good. They will tell you nah or yeah, right? Yeah, again, guys, I don't represent the parish council. I just tell you based on my experience, what I've experienced over the years from submitting drawings to the parish council, right? So that's where I get my information from. I know that for temporary structures, you don't need to do an approval for that, right? Especially like a shipping container that you're going to come put down, and you do your construction, and then after you're done, you take it up and move it. You don't need an approval for that, right? It's not there permanently, right? So I was saying, for those that reach out to me directly, you need to book a consultation. Remember, in this day and age, nobody does anything for free. That's the reality, right? And even as a returning resident, you especially have to be careful when you're getting free information or free things, or you're getting it too cheap. If it's really, really cheap, you have to second guess it, because chances are you're not necessarily getting quality, right? You're not necessarily getting quality. So when you call me to say, hey, I am doing this, come to my property to do this, I won't come. You first need to book a consultation. I need to keep the lights on in order to help you, right? So if I don't have lights and I can't sustain myself, I can't help you. So I have to help myself first before I can help you, right? So therefore, whenever you reach out to me, other than on the channel, to ask me questions, I'm going to tell you, book a consultation. If you want to discuss stuff freely, then you can come to the live and ask as much questions as you want, and I'll answer them. Same way how Sophia asked her questions and I answered them. I rather that if it is that we are going to be, if you're going to ask the questions. But otherwise, if you want a one-on-one session with me to really sit down and go through with you step by step and get you the necessary information, then of course I'm going to charge you for that, right? And I think it is only fair because I think I give a lot, so that you guys can have necessary information. So don't feel bad if you call me and say, yo, book a consultation. You're supporting the thing, all right? Anyways, guys, remember, if you're living overseas and you're thinking of coming back to Jamaica and you want to buy land, but you're not here and you want to see that property, right? You can book, or you can have us do a site investigation, site inspection for you, right? We do a comprehensive investigation of the site. We look at the wind direction, we look at the sun direction, how the sun passes over your site. So we do a wind analysis, sun analysis. We look at view analysis. So what type of views are you having from that particular property, right? We give you drone shots, we give you drone pictures, drone videos. We look at crime within that area. So what is the crime stats? We just do a search and get you information. What kind of crime has been committed over the past 2 years, right? We also look at flooding. We look at, okay, when was the last flood within that area? We look at the slope of the property. We look at what type of soil is on that particular property. We do a lot of things for you in your site investigation. Additionally, if you're not in Jamaica, you miss Jamaica, and you want a piece of Jamaica to remind you of the good times in Jamaica, we just decided to do canvas prints. So if you look on the channel, the last video that we uploaded, we actually do canvas prints. So the drone footages that I have, if you want a particular drone footage, say you want a picture of Ocho Rios, you want a picture of where you're from in Jamaica, and we have those pictures, we will print it on canvas 24 by 36. We will also frame it for you, package it, and send it to you. Alright? So check that out. Check out AJAWI Printing if you want any of those services. If you want drone footages, drone surveys, if you want construction drawings done, then it's AJAWI Construction. Alright? Let's see. Soil analysis. No, I wouldn't say analysis. It's based on just what the eyes can see. Right? So we will look at the property and see what type of soil is on the property. Right? Based on the naked eye. If you want a comprehensive soil analysis, then you need a geotechnical. You need a geotechnical engineer. Alright? So if you need a comprehensive soil analysis, then I would suggest you consult with us, geotechnical engineer. But if you're deciding to buy and you just want a general idea of what type of soil is on the property, then we can do that. Alright, so another different note, AJAWI, do you know if any hardware on the island sells insulated backed plasterboard? I have no idea. That's a good question. That's a very good question. Yeah, but no, I don't know. I don't know of any place that does that. As for the site investigation, it's dependent on where it is. So there's a flat fee for flying the drone for the site investigation, and then there is a traveling fee attached to that. So most of the time it comes out around $500 or less, depends on the location. So the location may determine what that fee is. Right? So if we have to fly the drone, then that's a different cost than if we just go in there to look, take pictures with the camera, then that's a different cost. But once we're flying the drone, then that's an additional cost, right? So go with $500 for now, or less, right? Or less. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support for all those that are here. No someone on day one, right? Make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell. Support the team, the business. We are here to support returning residents. So if you need construction related services, so whether it be the design of your home, whether it be project supervision, you can reach out to us. All right. See you later. Peace out.